Good afternoon, ladies, gents and Pikachus, welcome back to the channel. So, now that I've had a couple of weeks to deal with the atheistics, agnostic atheists, strange group of people that I've recently become aware of, now I know what it is that they think and say. I've spent a good 2 weeks letting them talk, or most of the time shout and swear, without really replying to them, so that I could gauge what it is they're saying, and I figured it out for you. So, here's what I found. Their argument, or their discussion, is internal to them. It has no meaning and purpose to you, or me, or anyone else on the planet apart from that person. Because what they are actually exploring, which is not the same thing we all have been, is, what do I personally believe? That's what they're doing. They're saying, I'm this! That's their whole conversation. I'm an atheist agnostic! And then they've got nothing more to say. So it doesn't make any difference to me. I don't care what you are. I don't even know you, just some random internet rude person. Like I said, you're an orc. If that's you, run along back to Reddit and have your little childlike conversations with them. I don't want you here. The rest of us, who are not like you, atheistics, we have a long-running, developing discussion, which is not about what we are. We already know what we are. We did that years ago. We want to know what God is. Or if he's not there, we want to know why people are convinced that he is. That's the conversation over there, you know, the mature, intelligent one. But everyone over there already knows what everyone is. That's why we have the set groups, atheist, agnostic, deist, theist. It makes sense. But if you go over there, where everyone has long since passed the point of declaring what they are to the group, and start going, well, I'm an atheist agnostic, and it's suddenly different to how it was 100 years ago. Certainly different to when you did it, which is what they're saying. Guess what you're doing? You are pulling the conversation back years and years and years. You're throwing away all that progress, which is, you know, means a lot to people's value in that progress. You're just callously throwing that away when you haven't even seen it because you weren't there when that conversation happened. And the reason you're doing it is so that you can go, I'm important! But you're not. You coming to some discovery of atheism or faith or whatever changes nothing for the rest of the world. Does it? Doesn't do me any favours. Doesn't do anyone over there any favours. Really doesn't even do you any favours. You should already know what you are by this late stage of the game, sir. So it's just a very selfish, me generation conversation which you can go and have with yourself or your little Reddit buddies. We're not interested. I'm certainly not interested. This channel is not interested in what you personally are. Figure out what you are, then come back, alright? Because I don't want to have that conversation with you. Not that I wouldn't if you were pleasant and polite, if you weren't such a wordless moron, rude little orc, like I said in my post, then I would be happy to take time away from that intelligent, developing conversation over there and have a little quiet conversation with you to help you figure out what you are. But you don't want that. You just want to stand on a box and go, I'm me, I'm this. Okay, cool, fine. Back to the normal conversation which you're not part of. Do you see what I'm saying? The conversation you want to have is a very shallow, limited, easy to complete conversation. The fact that you've taken 2 weeks to not finish it says to me you don't want to finish it. You're a troll. You're only here to go, me, talk about yourself. But like I said, I don't care. I don't know who you are. The rest of us over there, I know those guys. We've spent a lot of time developing that conversation, looking through the evidence, comparing testimonies. No one's being rude and obnoxious and obscene over there. Everyone over there knows how to behave, and that is why we get results. Basic level of respect to go through these difficult topics. None of you guys have that, though, do you? So, back to Reddit with you. If that's you and you can't decide what you are, which you obviously can't because you're taking 2 of the 3 possible lanes. You know, you've got atheist, non-believer, agnostic, doesn't know, and believer. They're your 3 lanes. You're taking 2. You're sitting in the middle. You're line running 2 lanes because you can't decide which one you're in. Guess why you can't decide, oh agnostic atheist? Because you don't know. And if you're wrong, and God is real, then you're making a big mistake, aren't you? And we both know that. So stop flirting with the idea that you are somehow educated enough to know this conversation when you can't even decide what you are in it. Go away and do some more thinking. Not Googling, not watching videos. Switch all your stuff off and actually do some thinking. Miles of thought is what you need, not Google and videos. You know, there's got to be a point where you stop looking for other people to tell you what you are, which is what you do when you read Google, YouTube, PDFs or apps or whatever. You need to have a deep think about what it is you believe and why. Then you'll figure out who you are, what your goal is within this conversation, and then you will probably gain entry into the guys over there's conversation, you know, the big developed interesting one. No one over there's arguing. No one over there is shouting the odds, insulting other people. We don't have to change the meanings of words to fit our current definition. We change ourselves to fit those words if we want to be like that. For instance, I consider myself to be well behaved. I don't have to change what well behaved means in order to fit myself in there. I changed my behaviour to fit within the well behaved box. So then everyone else gets a benefit from that, because when they say who in the room is well behaved, they can already say this guy is. But what you're doing is the opposite. You don't want to fit in any of the boxes that other people understand. You want to completely remodel every single box and then sit in the middle of all the boxes going, oh, which one should I be in now? It's moronic, so don't do it. So that's the end of this video. In conclusion, we're over there right now, and we have been for a number of years, talking about the reason why these names are important. Why is it important that you can be an atheist, agnostic, or a believer? What's the goal of knowing that you are those things? That's the conversation we're having. You know, we've got past the me, what am I bit. That's like the toddler room bit. We're way past that. We're over there having that good conversation and getting results, developing that conversation with everybody in it. If you would like to join us, drop this whole arrogant me thing. We don't care what you are. You can be whatever you like. We are trying to find something better and bigger than what is me. We already know what me is. But if you consistently ignore the fact that there's that big conversation over there, and all you care about is figuring out what's going on inside your little potty head, then go back to Reddit and stay there, quite honestly. So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. God bless you all, and I'll see you lovely people in the next one. Bye now. He was rude to me and it's all important. You are going to get a big shock when you realise that God is real, and he's going to tell you that you are a disgusting sinner who needs to completely change his life. Look forward to that. God bless you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.